So all is in readiness for the second quarter. So, Tubes, I saw that you went down to the Tasmanian huddle. What do you got to report from down there?
Well, they're taking it very seriously, Hoppy, and Peter Hudson was loving about how much the crowd are into it and how much run they've got and just keep it going. They were very keen to get back out there too, mate.
All right, Stoney from the Vic huddle.
Well, we've had a bit of a change, and Michael put Darcy wearing numbers 32 for Victoria, Hop. So they've made a bit of a ring-in and a change because of the injury to Baldwin.
And I believe also that number 10, the mystery man, was Michael Tate. And the ball has gone over. I think there might have been a quick goal. We better have another look at that one.
That was actually Benny Beams, I think, snapped that goal then.
Yeah,
Benny Beams, very clever player, Tubes.
Yeah, very, very good on the left foot, mate. He's going to kick goals all day if he's playing down forward like that. You just can't give him the space.
Very nicely done. And I noticed, of course, the legend, Tubes, Peter Hudson, was very, very happy with the way in which they went about their football, the Tasmanian team.
Absolutely, mate. And he said to us right at the end there, I'm taking blokes off who are getting too many kicks. I don't think he is doing that, though. There's plenty of blokes out there getting a lot of the ball.
That's tremendous work there. So Tassie have got a little bit of distance between them now. That was a very nice tackle by McLean, and he's gone back in to get it again. Fletcher has just not looked, he hasn't missed a beat so far. He's just looked like he's going to control the ball as Crouch now goes forward. Favola, he tries the in-out, gets the soccer off the ground, and he has slipped that one through for a goal. Favola, you beauty!
That was a skill on that, Tubes, Hop. That was just amazing. Turned his player inside out, used a little bit of a foot candy there and off the ground. Seen you with the goals and perfect executed drop kick off the ground, Hop, for a goal.
Lovely work by there, and I tell you what, he was very, very filthy, wasn't he, about that big bomb that he kicked, Tubes.
Yeah, he was.
He reckoned that certainly went in for a goal.
Yeah, certain goal, but had the right bend on it too off the ground there. Beautiful work, harder than it looks.
Certainly was. So that was a nice goal by Favola. And just when we thought Tasmania were going to run away with the game, they've come back very, very nicely. And if they could just string a couple in a row as it comes towards Kate and he doesn't get it, he tries to push him away, goes the don't argue towards Ross, but he will not go away as Dimartina now drives them forward, comes out towards Tate. Tate now towards O'Loughlin. He sells that candy and a lovely pass in towards Danaher, the leading forward, as he has done for his beloved Bombers for many a year, has been the man in front and taking that mark.
I tell you what, Hop and Tubes, you know, he's really dangerous when he gets to footy, and looks like he hasn't missed a bit. Michael O'Loughlin is a really important player, the Victorian midfield.
Do you think he needs to be looked after a bit, Tubes?
No, as he hits the post there, TD. I think you can tell a lot when you go out there and you look at these blokes in the leg area. These blokes, you look at their legs and you can tell whether they're fit or not. Michael O'Loughlin has got the skinniest ankles on anyone I've ever seen. He is still fit, make no mistake about that.
He is a thoroughbred and he could be running around in the first weekend in November. There is no doubt about that. He just oozes class, does the 300 game veteran for the Sydney Swans. As Liberatore gets that ball, fires that one in towards Modra, because Modra would very much like it up in the air. As Hudson now claims that ball, he turns back around. It is Champion who overruns the ball, but have a look at the ferocity that they're going in there as Toddy Pepper is over it, gets it out towards Ross. He then gets another handball towards Fletcher. Fletcher goes one way. He's got time and space. He reminds me very much of the great Diesel Williams. He plays in that manner, doesn't he? Sometimes he could be perceived as he's slow, but he gets the handball out, and it is Hudson there, Tubes, that does some great finishing work for Tasmania.
Brilliant work by the captain for Tassie. He'd be doing his dad proud out there. A captain-coach combination with father-son. You don't see that very often.
Certainly is, and didn't he forge a great career, Tubes? Of course, it would have been under the pump, going under the tutelage of great legend status of his dad, but he carved out a very, very good career in AFL football.
Absolutely. He was a champion for the Bulldogs and the Hawks and kicked a lot of goals too.
No doubt about that, as that ball comes back in and it sees Tasmania now on 46, Victoria 28. As the big men go up, it is Street yet again, and he is a very, very tall unit. You might get older, Tubes, but you don't lose your height when you're coming up from that standard. It is Tate now, gets the handball out to Dimartina. The first thing he got the ball with the experience was run backwards, and it comes out to Karras. Karras pulling that one back and driving it towards the goal. but it is gone too far, high, wide and handsome, and through for the minor score.
Phil Karras, a former South Launceston player, and played some work with Port Melbourne also, so should have kicked that goal and missed the goal, but Victoria need a goal at this point, I reckon.
I certainly do, as Hazel gets that kick in. Well done by Bourne. Comes back out towards McLean. He goes on his left foot. Doesn't quite get big purchase on that one, and doesn't go the required distance for where Fafala would have liked it. And Tasmania are able to mop that one up with good defensive work. Beautiful fly there by Fletcher. Goes towards Ross. But Ribatore, he says, have a look at this one, Fletch. I'm going to run away from you, as he drives that ball back towards Fafala. As he just slips the leg out and protects the area. He runs around. It bends it towards the goals, and it is just touched as we see that one now. And Favola just puts his head down because he would have really liked that. It was a very, very nice work. I love the way he protected the area where the ball was going to drop.
Yeah, he would have kicked that 9 times out of 10, but missed that one.
All right, so we're back here live as Hudson tries to pick up the ball. He can't do so, so he decides to tap it on. I think the umpires deemed that was a little bit too high, and the free kick will go to Woolridge, who I think actually got the best on ground in the last game, Stoney.
I think he did. I think you're on the money there.
Very, very good player, and leading out and still looking very, very fit. Was that Modra going back there? No, that was Zanotti who's moved down back. Sorry, Zanotti comes out wide, and that's O'Donnell. Just a lovely kick. Now it's Tate, picks that ball up. Looks inside, getting a run with Shepherd by Smith. Very, very clever, going back inboard towards Caton. They're certainly moving the ball a little bit better now, Stoney.
Yeah, they are. Liberatore's getting a lot more of the ball, and he's a really important player and dangerous player. As I said, still playing around super fools and still getting a kick that's a bit high there to the Tasmanians.
I think Victoria just need to move the ball a bit quicker, because Tasmania had a lot of time there to run back and fill up the space. So obviously a little bit of work to be done for Victoria. They're probably struggling to move it quicker, the poor buggers. All
right, so Crouch, he's over the ball. Khan, now he gets it out very nicely, and Liberatore is starting to get some influence on this game. He's overcooked that kick, and Beams was able to just come in and chip that one. Oh, it's gone the wrong way. That was unfortunate for McLean. He did the right thing and got in front. As Robinson, who goes out towards Ross. He's got plenty of play. He has kicked that ball off the ground and just missed it. Great attempt there, Tubes, by the little fleet of foot man from the Valley of Love.
I thought he was going to pick it up and try and do a little bit of balking skills, but had a crack at it and almost got it.
All right, so it's Christo who brings that ball back, comes in towards Tate. He's very good below his needs. Now it's Champion who picks it up. Champion cross that half-back flank, driving it, and they've got plenty of room here as Luff squares the ball back inside towards Darcy. Darcy has got it in towards Favola, and you can just see there the way he just plants himself, Stoney, and he protects the area that he wants to mark the ball.
The last 3 years when he's at the Yarrawonga Pigeons, he's been driving the defence mad, because all these tricks and all the things he can do, the natural ability of Fev, and you've seen it there. He's pushed his play under the footy and nearly got to kick the goal.
Favola nonchalantly just picks it up, kicks it across the body, but not far enough, and through for the minor score.
Kicked 4 behinds, the Fev.
He's a bit of byplay too with Adrian Fletcher out there a bit at the moment.
So now it is Tasmania who bring the ball back. I think that might have been Polton who goes there. And what about that mark there by McLean? Gets it across towards Darcy. Darcy kicks the ball in, and it is O'Loughlin now who comes out. O'Loughlin gets the handball back across, and it's through for the minor score. All right, so they're just going, the temperature gauge is still going very, very high, so it will be very interesting, Tubes, to see if they can maintain this standard for the full 100 minutes of football.
If there's going to be anyone that can keep it up, it's young Ross from the Derwent Valley, the Valley of Love there. He's very fit and keeps running.
Well, of course, he was a fantastic player in the SFL this year as Hudson. Magnificent kick on both sides of his body. Look at that, bending down was the big man Simon Minton Connell, and all of a sudden it was a little bit like slow motion going down, and he fell, and it's Luff now who picks that ball up. Luff goes that drop punt back in towards the central corridor position as Tate picks it up back towards Smith. Smith just taking his time, good time and space, but can't find one of the targets, and now it is Tasmania who just drive that ball forward. Oh, they can raffle this one. and it's Hazel who picks the ball back. He centres it, waiting for the ball, just going to take that mark. Is Beams, and that was nice play there, Tubes, by Tasmania.
Yeah, and Simon Mitton-Connell was still in Brodie Holland's ear about that last time where he bent over and sort of stumbled around and said, I worked really hard to pick the ball up and then you couldn't, then you picked out Christo in the goal square. Why didn't you just drill it home?
So now Holland, he goes across his body, and I think he might have kicked that one, Tubes.
Yeah, bang, just easy as you like. He didn't even concentrate, just went round on the right foot and spilled it home for his second goal.
10 minutes gone, Tube, so a bit of players up and down the one spot at the moment and feeling the conditions at the moment. We've only gone, as I said, second quarter, 10 minutes, so don't know what they're going to be like at the end of this game. Might be looking for some drinks. Even
Brodie Holland's come off for a bit of a break too as he sends on Scott Blizzard for what seems to be his first run of the day. And
he is one of the very much fitter looking men out there, as Taylor giving great use to the first to the on ballers. And I tell you what, Tubes, Tasmania have got a couple of very, very good big men that are giving their on ballers first use of the ball. As that ball's close to the line before Hazel can bring that one back, and it will be a boundary throw in down in front of the Brains Trust there for Tasmania.
I wonder what stage in this game it's going to start to get a bit serious, boys. I can see it sort of happening. Libber's certainly been getting in there and extracting the ball as he used to. Obviously a Brownlow medal winner. It's great to see them down here raising some money for muscular dystrophy.
So that was well worked now, and coming out with Shepherd. He got into a bit of a gallop. Tries to find Beams. Beams just kicks that ball back indoors, and that was lovely work. And Jason Gulliver has come out and taken that nice mark.
Tubes, just as I go back, sorry, Hop. I was going to say, Tubes, what's Gulliver's scenario? Where did he play?
He started his career out at Claremont and Glenorchy, and he's an absolute champion player, just very elusive, very quick, and you'd think he wouldn't be at the contest, then he would be. He's got a huge leap on him. Played with me at the Uni Footy Club, the Rainbows down there, as the man Ross kicks his first goal of the day. That bit of a crowd favourite. I think he's brought the whole Derwent Valley down with him, which is terrific. But yeah, Gully's a terrific player and a terrific bloke as well.
Yeah, no, it was very cagey of our organisers to put the Norfolk player in there to try and bolster that crowd up, Stoney. So, and he is, look at him, he looks like he should be out at Elwick, riding a few, but I tell you what, he has got courage and he goes in hard and he's fast.
Are they still the Saints, Hop? Are they still the Saints?
Yeah. Who's that, mate?
The new Norfolk
boys? Oh, the Eagles.
The Eagles.
They are the mighty Eagles. They do, of course, wear the Saints strip.
That's right, yeah.
But they are the Eagles, and they have been feared football team for many a long time. It's a hard road trip up there as Favola comes out. Couldn't take the one-handed mark. Oh, that's a pretty fierce tackle. They're going in particularly hard, those two young men. And now they're working their way towards the boundary line. Favola picks it up. He goes for that short pass. He's getting so many away. And it is Crouch who'll go back and have a shot on goal. Oh, he gives it off. He's tried to kick it outside of 50 for the 9-pointer. Look at that one. It's gone close, and it's Modra who's down there and through for the minor score.
He should have gone back into the crack.
That's Fev's 5th point.
He's got to get in the scoreboard soon, doesn't he, you think?
Yeah, well, he's given off 3 or 4 goals too, so let's not forget about that. Oh, here we go.
He is one of the crowd favourites, there's no doubt about that, as he ran up there and shepherded, and now the ball drops down towards O'Donnell. Now it ends up in Karras's hands. Oh, and he's hooked that one when he should have got. And you could hear the crowd, they were willing that one to go through, but it didn't. And all of a sudden, I think there's been another change down there as well, Stoney. Number 31 for Victoria seems to have those green socks on. So he might be a Tassie boy who's just slotted over. You got any heads up on that, Tubes?
No, I didn't see any action, but there is a little bit of to and fro from the bench.
So now it is Liberatore who gets that ball. He goes back in towards the goals, and here is that man. But it is Modra who's kicked it over his shoulder in an attempt to get his 3rd goal, but not quite enough, and through for the minor score. But they are peppering, and they have got some momentum, Stoney.
Yeah, but they kicked themselves out of it. You know, that good bad kicking is bad football, Hop, and they may rue the fact that they've missed so many goals in this second quarter.
Yeah, there are momentum swings, aren't they, in footy, and they need to take advantage of why they have got the onion. Oh, look at that tackle. He has been deemed. He's been.
High.
Oh, I don't think Russell Robinson was too happy there, and he might have given him some lippy. Did he duck his head? It still is too high, though. Yeah. And McLean, who I believe is doing a great job playing on the two twin towers that Tasmania has got. O'Loughlin sees Smith just a little bit wider, and they are trying to go out with a nice mark there by Tate. Tate goes back inboard towards Smith. Oh, you're in trouble, son. More trouble than the early settlers who settled Tasmania down here in 1804 as they tramped across.
That's not a bad history lesson there, Hop, from you.
Oh, well, Hobart in 1804, of course, was up the river a little bit, and 1 year later they brought it down to Battery Point. Oh, okay. Yes, of course, it's a beautiful spot down here, Stoney.
What year did the Tasman Bridge get built, Hop?
Oh, well, I can tell you, though, in 1975...
It collapsed, didn't it?
It collapsed, and it took longer to fix than it did to build. I think it was about 67 that the Tasman Bridge was built there, Stoney, as that one was tapped. But, of course, talking of bridges, we've got the two oldest bridges down here, Ross and Richmond. We can just bring out all your stats of your Tasmanian history.
You know what? I love Tasmanian history, you know that? One of the oldest places in Australia.
I'll tell you, one of the blokes they should have put in here, one of the great convicts, Alexander Pearce. He set off from Sarah Island with 7 of his mates, and when he was caught at Oatlands, there was none of his mates left because he'd eaten them. There's a lovely story.
What year was that up? What year was that anyway?
Oh, Tubes and I, we love our Tassie, Tubes.
Oh, look, mate, I'm happy for you guys to just giving me a lesson here, because I knew about Alexander Pearce. He's my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. So,
really?
Yeah, just be careful. I'm getting a bit hungry.
So it is Heath Shepherd who has got the ball. He's seen someone in a better spot. Brett Costello.
Is Win News here? They might get some TV tonight.
Righto, let's have the odds if he's going to kick this one, Tubes.
Zoom in, get on him, because this is an absolute certainty. Watch the technique here, boys. He's a classic man's footballer. Look at it. Back goes bang, and
he's missed it.
Oh, no.
They're going to give him super.
Oh.
They're going to give him...
Brett Costello, your chance. Surely he's going to drag himself.
Well, he did have a chance there to go back, and that I would have liked to see him just steady slightly instead of that one-step kick. But I think he will learn that, young kiddie, from his experiences, and he'll go back and slot the next one as Trevina. He's a very fit-looking rooster. Gets it out to Atkins.
I reckon Simon's in a bit of trouble. There are a few leg issues there with Simon Atkins, but anyway, we'll move on.
Well, he's kicked it to his brother, the twin.
Well, it's almost like, if you didn't know about that, how quick is Atkins the way he's kicked the ball, sprinted down and taken the mark, Tubes?
Incredible stuff.
Yeah, good point.
All right, so now the ball comes towards you. Oh, he's sold it to himself. He said, had a look at that one, and he's pushed it back towards the unfriendly goal umpire who didn't see the goal go through for Favola and won a minor score. But the game now, is it slipping away from Victoria?
They've got to get a goal now. Victoria's got the footy, so he's got to create something.
I think the way Minton Connell's going about his footy, he's desperately trying hard to pull a hammy. He's trying real hard to pull a hamstring.
So Winter has moved down forward, and normally the veteran defender, not in a position that would be accustomed to.
Now, if I was out there, Hop, I'd be asking Darren Winter how many actually goals he's kicked in his career, because there wouldn't be too many.
I think he played a few games up in Burnie at the Dockers up forward from memory.
Okay.
Yeah, not many though, not many, boys.
So here he is, Darren Winter, the incumbent coach of the Lauderdale Football Club, has gone back as easy as you like, as if he's played centre-half forward all his life, and had slipped that one through for a much-needed goal for the Big V. You can see his hands were just, his thumbs were at the goals, his fingers pointing right towards the ground, and a beautiful kick for goal there. And a goal there to Darren Winter and Victoria Stoney.
20 minutes, Hop, so we've probably got another 7 minutes left in this quarter, and you've got the difference in the game, 41 to 62. So Victoria's still in there, but they wouldn't want Tasmania to kick a couple of goals towards the end of this quarter.
Yes, it would give them a great deal of confidence if they could put a couple of goals together, as Atkins getting that football across, and they are really teaming up well. A long one there, and Christou was able to go back. Christou just throws it on the boot. But have a look at that mark. Brilliant work there by Tate. And I tell you what, Stoney, since Tate's come on, he has given the Vic a lot.
Remember that race, the Fine Cotton? Well, I'm going to investigate who Mr. Tate is.
Yes, he's certainly going very, very nicely as Gulliver is out there, gets that handball back towards Robinson. Robinson really kicks that one from 50 metres. Wow. And Russell Robinson has slotted that one for his second goal, Tubes.
Yeah, brilliant work from Russell Robinson. As I said, Jason Gulliver's provided something out there as well, just with those quick handballs, quick legs. He's a very good player. 2 goals for Rusty.
50 out.
50 out. Easy too.
Well, you saw that one from downtown. He has put that one through, so terrific work by him as Tasmania are really applying the screws to the Vic Via. They are moving on at the 20-minute mark of this second quarter to 62 to Victoria 47. Gentlemen, how are we seeing this game going forward, Tubes?
Well, I think the only thing that's going to happen is these boys are going to get a bit tighter, and it's going to come down to skill level. Now, Victoria, very skilled footballers, as are the Tasmanians, though, so I'm not going to call it. I'm just excited to see Fev kick a few more sausage rolls and then probably eat a few at half-time, three-quarter time. Well,
there it is. Lovely work there as leading out for the ball was Favola, as Polton was playing a very close checking style there. And you really want to as well down there because you don't want to let him off the lead. Brilliant ruck work there by Baker, the best and fairest winner for Melbourne. Comes back down. Look at that match up there as Modra
pushed him aside.
Push Ross aside. As we see here, he said, get out of the cab, I'm coming through, and a lovely mark there by Modra. Kicked a couple so far. Modra comes back, made the umpire work a little bit, but not enough. And Modra has put through his third goal. That was terrific forward work, Stoney.
Yeah, Tony Modra, just too much straight. I mean, what hope is Nathan Ross is about 4'11", against Tony Modra 6'2", and about, you know, he's in good nick, Tony Modra, and pretty strong. And as you can see, just pushed him aside, ragdolled him, as they say, and went back and kicked the goal.
He's kicked the ball to the northbound land of the Brooker Highway too, boys.
I tell you what, he enjoyed every minute of that, and wouldn't he have liked when he was playing for the Crows just to be lining up on a 4'11", 60-kilo whippet. I put it to you, his goal kicking might have just gone up another octave, Stoney.
I agree.
Anyway, it is Victoria really forcing their way back into this game. They are on 47 and the Tassie boys are on 68 as we're deep in the second quarter. As Michael O'Loughlin now gets that ball. He kicks it over. Big opportunity for Winter. And I tell you what, he is giving him a bit of a spark since he's moved down there. Back over the back for Vola, who is 10 metres out. And he decides to just slip that one through. And the Big V are really making an impression here, Stoney.
Yeah, getting their hands on the ball. And with Favola and Modra in the forward line, as Tube was saying before, is that if the skill players of O'Loughlin and Liberatoria can get the footy enough times, they'll give the Vics enough supply to that forward line, and they're doing that at the moment. This last 5 minutes of the game, as we see one of the Victorian players stretch out a bit, feeling a bit of the heat of Tory Luff, I think it is.
Yeah, well, of course, he played most of his footy there up at Sydney, and he wouldn't be used to the extremities. That is the Hobart sun, Stoney. There is no doubt about that.
Straight off the equator.
Oh, look at O'Loughlin. He's just showing class.
Candy.
He shows Costello some candy. He says, I'm going to go again. He's only run about 133 metres and he's been pulled up.
Let's not ruin the game, umpires. That would have been a beautiful piece of play, but called him up for too far. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the crowd very much enjoyed that. One of the things I think we've enjoyed from the coaching staff of Rhys Jones is the move of Winter down forward, Stoney.
Yeah, it could be a winning move. We've got the twin towers down there in Favola and Modra, but to stick there, the experience, Darren Winder down there, and he gives him a bit of a drive down there.
He certainly showed a bit as McLean is there backing up, and he drives that ball forward. Oh, it's a big spoil by Tasmania. And now it is Dimatina who picks that ball up, driving it towards. Up they go! It was Favola and Modra both decided to go the big one.
Fev.
And Fev has just slipped that one through. They've just got to get the onion and get it in quickly, Stoney, to those two power forwards.
Yeah, you've seen it in the replays. Both players went up, Modron Favola stayed down. Fev was in the right spot, and he's, as I said, he's quick-witted, and his skill enabled him to get the ball off the ground and kick a snag.
Tubes, he's a big man, but he's like a cat. As soon as he got that ball, you see him stay low, and the way he swiveled on his heels and put that one through.
Yeah, look, and I think he might have hurt himself, or he's just absolutely stuffed. He's coming off for a rest too, boys, by the looks of things. But very elusive down there. The cat, meow, snagged a couple of goals too. Half time. 25 minutes, jeez.
It is half time here at the Relive the Rivalry, Tasmania versus Victorian All-Stars. As we check the scoreboard, it is Tasmania who have moved on to 68.
10 goals, 8.
10-8, 68, Stoney.
8-11, 59.
To 8-11, 59. As Tubes, I know you couldn't pick a winner. Did you see anything that gave you an inkling either way or the other?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it's just the experience of the Vics that are coming through here, boys. A lot of level-headed boys out there just running the ball, keeping possession, and Tasmania didn't look like it in that second half of the second quarter, did they?
So it's going to be interesting. You see some of the Guernseys are going to be given back, as James Wiggins, the organiser of this game. He must be thrilled. There's a fantastic crowd. As Stoney alluded to, they were lining up from very, very deep, as they're going to go off and take a very well-earned break. I hope you've been enjoying the coverage, as it is Tasmania with their noses in front this stage, and we'll be back with all the big second half highlights very, very shortly.